Hello, I'm Michelle and I'm going to guide you through a 30-minute restorative practice. Come into a nice, easy seated position. It doesn't matter if you sit like so, if you have your feet in bound angle, or your legs wide. Just finding what feels particularly good for you. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. And beginning to check into the body, seeing if there's any areas in which you could use a little extra attention, a little extra comfort, a little extra calm. And breathing into those areas, whether they're physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional. Sometimes you just need a little extra breath, maybe regarding a repetitive thought, or a worry, or a concern, or a physical sensation that's unpleasant, or perhaps questioning a bigger picture. So just breathing into that area, wherever it is, that you need a little extra attention, a little extra comfort, a little extra calm. Your intention is the purpose and the focus behind your practice today. It could be physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional. As we move through the restorative postures, after we've reached 3 minutes, you'll hear a sound. And at that moment, it is time to come out of that posture and move on to the next, and I will guide you along. So first things first, we're going to come into a basic child's pose. We're going to open our legs nice and wide, bringing our big toes together and coming down to having our chests on the floor. We're going to stay here for 1 minute. Remembering to breathe, feeling the sensations in the body as they arise, noticing that the tension is being released in one area and gravitating toward another area, and if so, bringing your attention and your breath to that area. Inhaling here, and exhaling, gently walking your hands in towards your body and coming into a tabletop position. We're going to go through 5 rounds of cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, bringing the belly button to the floor, forehead to sky, exhaling, drawing the belly button in and up, lifting the pelvic floor. Inhaling, scooping forward, creating a little bit of a bend in the elbows. Exhaling, drawing the belly button in and up, lifting the pelvic floor. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. One last time. Inhaling, scooping forward. Exhaling, coming back. Into that. Coming back to a tabletop position. We're going to go ahead and grab our props. And the first pose that we're going to do is supported child's pose. We're going to hold this pose for 3 minutes. So you have 2 options here. 1, you can keep the bolster like so. Or 2, one of my favorite ways to do it, is to take 2 blocks, placing them underneath the bolster. And then bringing my hands underneath. So I'm allowing the bolster to completely support my torso. So just allowing the props to completely support you. Allowing your breath to be deep and diaphragmatic. Allowing your awareness to shift from other areas of your body, bringing attention to the areas that need the most attention. And inhaling. And exhaling, release it. Following your quality of breath. And see if you can enrich that quality. So if your head has been in one direction, inhaling here, and exhaling, switching cheeks. Noticing the difference between having one cheek on the bolster and switching to the other. Allowing the breath to be deep and diaphragmatic. Allowing your body to be completely supported by the bolster. And exhaling, gently coming off of the bolster. We're going to move the bolster to the side. I'm going to grab 2 blocks, or perhaps 1, depending on what your particular body needs. And it's gently lowered back down. I have wood floors, so that didn't sound so gentle, but I promise it was. I'm going to inhale here. Exhaling, drawing the belly button in and up, lifting the pelvic floor and bringing 1 block underneath the sacrum. The sacrum is the area in which, if your low-rise genes fall below, you have a trouble. So just finding that area. Inhaling here and exhaling, lifting up higher if that feels good for you. Alright. So in this supported bridge pose, bringing the knees together and having the feet the width of your mat, or as wide as you'd like. I promise death by boob smush is not a thing, because if so, I would have been dead a long time ago. So if you find the sensation of a little bit of anxiety arising because your chest is closer to your face, just allow your breath to release that tension. On the inhale, softening, and on the exhale, releasing. the blocks to completely support you. And then walking your feet in towards one another to hips distance. Inhaling here. And exhaling, lifting the bum off of the first block, then the second block. And exhaling, slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time to flat back. From here, we're going to come up and we're going to grab 2 bolsters, bringing the soles of the feet together and hanging out in a bound ankle pose. And just see the sensation, how it differs in your lower back. Does it feel like your spine may have gotten a little longer? Does it feel like the muscles in the lower back have released tension? Just taking a moment to really feel the difference in sensation in the lower back. Allowing your breath to guide you wherever it needs to go. Allowing your legs to be completely supported by the bolsters. And if you're holding tension in your face, soften the face. The hardest part of yoga is breathing, remembering to breathe. The second hardest thing is releasing the thoughts of the outside world. So if conscious everyday thoughts come into mind, observe them and release them. Then gently bringing your legs back together, removing the bolsters off to the side. Inhaling here. And exhaling, rolling onto your side through fetal pose and coming back up to a seated position. And then you're going to grab your strap. You're going to bring the strap to the left leg. Inhaling here. And exhaling, slowly lowering back, bringing the leg up to the sky. You're going to inhale, bend the knee in towards the chest, and then exhale, lengthen. So as we're holding onto the strap, the backs of our arms are on the floor. Our leg is extended. Finding the breath. Finding where the tension may reside and breathing into that area. And softening the face. Inhaling here. And exhaling, switching to having the right foot into the strap. Allowing the left leg to go on. If that feels good. Or you can always keep the sole of the foot on the ground. Inhaling here. Bringing the knee in towards the chest and exhaling, straighten. So same pose, opposite side. Supported big toe pose. And of course, if you wanted to, you could always reach up higher. So it just depends on what your particular needs are in the moment. Allowing the breath to be deep and diaphragmatic. Allowing the attention to be on the sensations that arise within the body, within your consciousness, within your spirit, whether you consider your spirit what makes you you, or something that belongs in the ethereal plane. Just taking a moment to really embody the practice. Inhale here. And this is something I like to do that I think is a little fun. Exhaling, using the strap as a pulley. Go ahead and move the strap aside. Next thing that we're going to do is a belly down twist. Now, if you have more going on up top, you might want to put a blanket down to just give your head a place to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the thigh into the edge of the bolster, inhaling here, and exhaling, draping over onto the bolster. Just hanging out here. Really allowing the props to support you completely. Imagine your body is like a wet blanket and just draping completely, heavily. Inhaling here. And exhaling, slowly walking the hands back in. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to move the props over to the side, but you can just keep the bolster where it is and just bring your legs to the opposite side. So you're going to inhale here, and then exhale, walking down, and then draping again over the bolster and blanket. Allowing the face to be soft. Allowing the breath to be deep and diaphragmatic. Breathing into the areas that you need extra attention. Exhaling, releasing whatever doesn't serve. your body to be completely supported by the props. Inhaling here. And exhaling, slowly walking the hands back in. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the bed bolster up here. I'm going to bring a smaller bolster here because I'm a shorter person, and this is going to go in the lumbar region. If you have a longer torso, you can use a bigger bolster there. Now, if you're a person that has lower back issues or issues with back bending, like it's not your favorite thing, I suggest using a blanket in lieu of a bolster in the middle. And you can use another blanket as a pillow. And then optional is to bring a bolster for the feet. So it may take a second to adjust and figure out exactly where you need to be. Oh, this is where I need to be. It's awesome. All right, so you have options here. You can have your arms out to the side like so, or you can have them up in cactus or down in cactus. So just feeling what sensations arise between the three options and finding the option that best suits you. Because we're going to hold it for a while, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable. And when we back bend, a lot of sensations can arise because it causes us to lead with the heart, so to speak. And oftentimes we're protecting that. And especially if we're sitting at computers or in the car all day, we tend to round forward. So we're just counteracting that right here. You can lengthen your legs long if you like. Your feet can also be in bound angle or easy pose, whatever feels appropriate for you for this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to roll onto our side like so and allow the props to support us. So the lower bolster is just below the rib cage. The upper bolster is serving as pillow. And your breathing is deep and diaphragmatic. Allowing your eyes to close or soften. Allowing the props to support you. Being the witness and observer of the sensations that arise. face to soften. Inhaling here and exhaling slowly, coming back up. For the purpose of the camera, I'm going to switch directions, but you can just roll onto your back, into a back bend. So we're once again going into that supported back bend. So the smaller bolster is going to go into my lower back. And the taller bolster, if I can reach it, is going to go for my head. We call it practice for a reason, right? And then just allowing the body to drape between the bolsters. Once again, you can have a bolster underneath your knees if you like, or you don't have to. If you have a tight lower back, using a blanket instead of a bolster so that you're not raising quite as high. Allowing the face to soften, noticing the sensations in the body as they arise. See how different this posture is from the first time that you did it. Does it feel the same? Is it different? Noticing the difference between the left and the right side of the body. And gently rolling onto your spine. Allowing the bolster to be right underneath the rib cage. Supporting you, allowing your eyes to soften or close. Allowing the breath to deepen. Allowing the exhale to offer release and relief. Inhale here. And exhaling slowly, coming back up to seated position. And now it's time for a supported Shavasana. We're going to come into a supported reclining bound angle pose. And we did that before, but we're going to take it to that next level of complete meltiness. We're going to take one block and put it at its highest setting. And then we're going to take another block and put it like so. Then we're going to take the big bolster and place it over the blocks like so. And keep scooching if you have to. to science, you know. If you have smaller bolsters, you can place them on either side for the arms. Bringing one bolster underneath your legs and opening the legs out into a bound angle supported pose. And this pose is absolute heaven. This pose requires absolutely no activation, just complete support. Allowing the props to be balanced and support you. Allowing your body to melt completely. Allowing the tension in the chest to start to dissolve. Feeling grounded through the pelvic floor. Noticing if there's any tension in the shoulders, and if so, allowing them to slide down. Noticing the sensations in the body as it arises. Soften the face. Imagine softening the body, melting.